What's up, everybody? Back with another prison story, but this one is a paranormal prison story. I know a lot of you have said you like those, and I got a few more of those. So this one, actually, before I get started, real quick, just a reminder, um, I put a link in the comments, a donation link. So for those of you who want to support my channel and throw a few dollars to help support, feel free. But like I said before, it's all voluntary, no obligations. And again, don't forget to hit like, don't forget to subscribe and comment. I love the fact that everybody's commenting so much, even the haters, or the ones criticizing. That's all good too. I'm learning. I'm new at this. I'm trying to get better every video, so I appreciate that too. So anyway, this one is called The Witches of 1100 Block. And it happened at CADC Florence, Arizona, Federal Detention Center, Women's Unit. And this story is 100% true as far as was told to me by the female COs and inmates in that unit. And there's also male COs that work the unit. I worked it a few times occasionally too, but the majority of the permanent COs are females. So anyway, the inmates I'm talking about was 3 white females claimed to be witches. And, they made Ouija boards out of cardboard. They had seances. They cursed other inmates. Sometimes for money, like an inmate could pay them and they would curse whoever they wanted, supposedly, They cursed COs, supposedly, and other staff. So pretty much anybody that pissed them off or crossed them, And, I'm not saying I believe all this, but there was some pretty weird, crazy stuff going on for a while in that unit. So around the time that this stuff was going on, a lot of paranormal stuff started happening in 1100 unit, according to again, like I said, the permanent COs there and a lot of the inmates that lived in that unit. So, of course, mainly the stuff was going on at night. And a couple of things was showers started going on and off by themselves. Intercoms were, activating, in empty cells. And then they would just, hear, static, or something. So that's pretty strange, And then, COs were saying that at mainly at night, when they were doing their security checks, sometimes they would feel like they would get tapped on the shoulder, or they would feel like a hand lightly brush against their hair or their head or something. And they also said that, and this is all after lockdown, when all the inmates are locked down, right? So they also said they were hearing whispering voices, in their ear sometimes while they were walking through the pod. And not like it was coming from a cell, but like it was actually following them around the pod, which is pretty weird. So a lot of other creepy stuff was happening, mostly in the pod where those witches live, but I think there was some stuff happening in some of the other pods too. So anyway, these witches, they started picking on this pretty young Latina inmate who she liked to sing and play guitar, and she was really good. I heard her play and sing a couple of times. And, they were able to check guitars out from the unit team, the counselors. So that's how, they got the guitars. Turn my notes here. So pretty much everybody said that they were jealous of her, because, she was pretty and she sang really good and played guitar real good or whatever. So, and they said, them 3 females supposedly said that they hated her because they didn't like Mexican music. And, they said she sounded like crap. It's definitely untrue. But I guess maybe if you really hate Mexican music, you might think that, but I think they were just hating. So one of these so-called witches also, this is interesting to mention, she seemed to have like, I don't know, like seductive powers or something over male staff, maybe even females too, I don't know, but she got a lot of male staff in trouble. It was crazy because in my opinion, like she wasn't, I didn't think she was all that. I mean, she was like, she was skinny, which is fine, you know, but you know, she had long light brown hair. She was like, okay, she wasn't like ugly, but she wasn't like beautiful or nothing like that. But for some reason, man, she got two COs, at least two COs, might have been three, and one sergeant fired. And the sergeant, he was a member of SORT. You know, I've mentioned on here a few times that I was on SORT in my younger years, like my first 3.5 years there. I was there at CADC. That's the Special Operations Response Team. It's like the prison's version of SWAT, you know. So anyways, he was on SORT, so that's a pretty big deal for him to get caught up in something like that. You know, I wasn't on the team anymore when this happened, but I just remember hearing that he was a SORT team member and he was a sergeant. And the crazy thing is, he was married, and this dude was ready to leave his wife and his family over this chick. You know, they were supposed to meet at a hotel because I guess that that chick was supposedly getting ready to get out, and this one I think happened after all this, you know, messing with that with the little Latina female. But anyways, they were supposed to meet up in a hotel in Florence called the Blue Moon, and that hotel's kind of notorious because like a really bad murder happened there, like I think in like the 70s or 80s, so it's been around a long time. I hope I got the name right. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So anyway, they were supposed to meet up there, but she basically set him up. She just left him hanging, and she called the facility, and you know, she told them like the details of their plan, and you know, somehow or another I don't know if they went and saw him there or what, but they basically caught him and, you know, busted him trying to meet up with her, you know. So he was history. He got his ass fired. And anyway, back to the story. You know, so they claimed they cursed this young Latina inmate. And, you know, unfortunately, she started feeling sick. She started feeling like nauseous, like headaches, anxiety, started having night terrors, like nightmares. And she started saying like stuff like the brujas were after her. And, you know, she said she was seeing demons in her dreams every night, you know. That'd be scary as fuck right there. I don't know about you guys, but I ain't trying to see that in my dreams. So anyway, after about 2 weeks, she started acting strange, according to her cellies. Like kind of like if she was having a mental breakdown. She stripped down naked in front of the other female inmates. She squatted in the middle of the gang cell. Gang cell is it's just like a large living area. It holds up like 12 to 15 inmates. So she squatted in the middle of the cell in front of all these other inmates and urinated on the floor. So you know, they freaked out, you know, and I think they tried to talk to her and stuff, but she was just acting real weird. So they went and told the case manager and the sergeant, you know, the female sergeant that was assigned there at the unit. And so, you know, they were just saying like there was something wrong with her, like she's acting really strange. They told them everything she was doing. So the female sergeant, she ended up taking her down to the medical unit, you know, to get her checked out. And they said there was nothing medically wrong with her. But then psych checked her and said that she could be possibly showing signs of some kind of like mental breakdown, like due to stress, you know. So I mean, I don't know, I'd be stressed out too if I thought demons were after me or something like that. But yeah, so she continued to get worse. You know, she started screaming and yelling at night, acting crazy. just like laughing real loud, like all by herself, like talking to herself, like she was hearing voices or something. So the other inmates in that gang cell, that big living area, they started like being afraid, like that she was gonna like do something to them, or like she was gonna do something to herself. So because she would stay up all night talking to herself and stuff. So the unit team ended up deciding, the unit team is the counselors, they decided to move her to the female lockdown pod for her own safety and for the safety of the other inmates in there. So after they moved her into the lockdown pod, she started getting worse. She started trying to hurt herself. She refused to keep any clothes on. And, she continued with the urinating in the middle of on the cell floor, but she also started defecating on the cell floor. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So she was put on suicide/constant watch, for observation for her own safety. And I think she was on that for about a month. And, during that time, she was barely sleeping or eating. She lost a lot of weight. I think some of her hair probably started falling out. She had forgot to mention, she had this really long, kind of wavy, like just thick, pretty hair, She was an attractive young lady, But, after about a month, she actually started getting better, for some reason. And, like a lot of the girls in the pod where she used to live said they were having like candlelight vigils for her, and they were like praying for her and stuff, So whether you believe or not, I'm just telling the story, that's what they said. So, maybe just that positive reinforcement, maybe, for those of you who don't believe in that, I'm not trying to push that on anybody. But anyways, she started improving. She started keeping her suicide gown on. But she still wouldn't really talk to anybody. She was just sing all day and night until she fell asleep, basically. She would just laugh and like say stuff that didn't make sense, but she was, getting better. And it was real sad because, like I said before, I seen her before all this stuff started, and she seemed like a nice person. Like I said, she was young, pretty female, talented, singer, guitar player. And, she wasn't there for anything really bad. She was just there like on an ICE violation. And so, a couple of times when I worked the female unit before and, during all this happened was, it was just sad because I seen how she was before, I seen how she was during, and then I kind of seen towards the end. But the messed up thing was, these so-called witches, they bragged and thought it was funny that, they supposedly did this to her, that they cursed her, And, so like, I remember hearing that she was coming out of segregation, out of the lockdown pod and going back to GP. But I'm not sure how that worked out, how she did, because I got moved to the other side of the jail. Like the jail, CADC is a really big detention center. It's like, it holds like over 3,500 detainees, like I said before, for like U.S. Marshals, ICE, Homeland Security, bunch of different contracts. And it's divided into two halves. The front half has like the segregation units, the lockdown units for the male inmates. And that's where I got transferred up there to go work that area. So I didn't hear what happened to her after that. But, hopefully she got better, and it worked out for her. But, so as for these so-called witches, man, hopefully they got what they deserve, because, that's a messed up thing to do. Like, wishing that upon somebody or cursing somebody like that, whether you believe in that or not, it's still, that's fucked up, And, I kind of get nervous to talk about it because I've actually had an experience with that. And I might do a video about it one day, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm afraid to talk about this female. No, no joke, man. I'm afraid to talk about this female because I do not want her to know that I made a video about her. But I'm gonna have to think that one over. But anyway, so like, whether you believe in that stuff or not, you know, that's some messed up shit, you know. And I mean, you could say that maybe it was just due to stress, like from them picking on her or whatever. Like, you know, that could have caused it too. You know, some people might say. But anyway, creeped me out, creeped me the fuck out. You know, just thinking about it and telling this story from what, you know, all the stuff that I was told. And so actually, when I was getting ready to film this video, when I was writing down my notes and everything and recalling it, some weird stuff kind of happened. Like, no joke, I'm not just saying this to promote my video or whatever, but because I work here overnight at a it's a huge call center. It's a big building, and I work the overnights on Sunday nights from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. in the morning. And by about like 9:30, the last person's gone, and I'm here by myself the whole night, you know. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, your boy ain't scared, man. Your boy's good, but it does get kind of creepy here. And like I said, man, when I was starting to get ready to film this video, man, some weird stuff happened, man. Like a motion detector went off, and then an alarm went off. And I was like, man, what the fuck? I was like, maybe I should have made this story, man. But anyway, so like, I might make a video. My boss told me he was cool with, like, I could walk around and film, like, in here and just kind of show everybody what it looks like. As long as he said I can't show the name of the company, you know. So I'll probably do that in the future just so people can see. It's like, it's kind of creepy up in here, you know, at night, you know, when I'm by myself. And actually, one of my buddies used to work the overnights here, and he actually asked me to switch with him to that Sunday night because he was getting creeped the fuck out because he claimed that black shadows, like shadow people, were following his ass around. And, you know, I told him, man, you might have brought them things from home because he lives, like, where he lives at in Phoenix, he lives by a big cemetery. And he's always telling me that he sees shadow people in his house, right? And this dude ain't no scrub, man. This dude ain't no, you know, this dude I'm talking about, he was a Phoenix cop for like almost 20 years. He had to do an early retirement because he blew out his knee in SWAT training. This dude, like, no joke, man, was a sniper on the SWAT team. He was air assault in the Army, and you know, he's a badass dude, you know. I always tell him, when it comes to weapons, man, you'll take my ass out, but when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, I'll knock your ass out, dude. But anyway, you know, he's a cool dude, you know. We're kind of competitive like that, but he's a badass dude. But anyway, he's scared to work here at nights, so that's why I'm here, you know. But so anyway, so like, you know, like, a couple of weird things, you know, happened to me here, like overnight. Like, I actually did see a shadow come across, like, above me. Like, I didn't actually see a shadow person or anything, but I was like watching a video or something, sitting like right here in my area, you know, where my computer monitors are and everything, my security monitors, and the shadow went over me, like something passed over me. And I was like, I looked up, I was like, what the fuck was that? But, you know, I don't know, man. It was just kind of weird. But, so anyway, you know, like I said, I'll probably make that video. But, for now, you know, that's my video. Till the next one, your homie Big Cisco. Peace.